Well, good afternoon and welcome back to this live training event here on iThemes Training. My name is Nathan Ingram and it is December 2019 and it's time for this month's plugin roundup, wrapping up the year with yet another fun list of really pretty cool plugins this month that have been, for the most part, added or updated recently within the last 30 days. There's a few that are a little older than that we're bringing back to your attention, but most of them are here within the last 30 days, as is our habit. Now, the fun part of this webinar is that since it's December, we usually do a little bit of focus on some holiday plugins to bring a little Christmas cheer or winter decor to your website. We had a fun little discussion in the pre-show about the real lack of Hanukkah plugins. I don't know what's going on with that, but if you search for Hanukkah in any of the different spelling options in the WordPress plugin directory, you come up with zero. There's just nothing there. So maybe some of your folks, maybe somebody out there could create their own little Hanukkah plugin. Who knows? Yeah, Melanie says time to productize one. Sounds like something you should work on, Melanie. Keep us updated on that. But either way, we have a great list of plugins today, both holiday and non-holiday oriented. A couple of things I want to remind you of as we're getting started today. The first is coming up in a couple of weeks. We'll actually be wrapping up 2 weeks from today, is the Beaver Builder Developer Course. That's December 17th through 19th. 3 hours of training over 3 days, so 9 hours total. And I am really excited about this one. This is something I put together last year. We did it, I think, in the summer of last year. So it's been about 18 months since we did this content. And I've brushed it off and spiffied it up for 2019, 2020. And basically, the idea here is we are going to be working with Beaver Builder to create a theme and plugin stack that we can then replicate for use on client sites. So we've called this the Beaver Builder Developer Course, and we will be doing a lot with Beaver Builder. However, even if you don't use Beaver Builder, or even a page builder at all for that matter, you're still going to get a ton out of this course because we're really talking about building a starter site that's going to make you more efficient as you do work for clients. So you can have a look there. Let me drop this URL in the chat room. And this is going to be a fun 3 days, 9 hours of content. And I think we did actually close to 11 hours of content in this course last year because we just kept going over because there was lots of fun stuff to talk about. Everything from installing WordPress the right way and going under the hood with WP config and some other things to creating header and footer structures using our page builder. Going to be doing a lot with the page builder here on day 2, but with the goal of packaging up this starter site for deployment. Might be looking at some speed optimizations as well as we look at Beaver Builder, and then launching the site, getting a good solid launch checklist, doing some customizations using Beaver Themer on the 3rd day, and then getting the site ready for the client. Lots of fun stuff coming up in this course on December 17th through 19th. There is a $50 off coupon. It is a $199 value that we're selling for $149, or if you are a Toolkit member, that is, of course, given to you at no additional charge. And this is the time of year to do it because the Toolkit right now is only $400. So do it. Join me in a couple of weeks for that course. One other thing I want to mention, just as we're getting started here, is Tuesday. This is always fun. Every 6 months, twice a year, we do the best of plugin roundup, and that's coming up on Tuesday, December the 10th. So if you haven't registered for this webinar, make sure you do that. Let me drop that in the chat room. Register for this one because this is the cream of the crop of the last 6 months of plugins. At the end of every plugin roundup, we ask you what your favorite ones of the month were, and we go back and look at all that data and compile a list of the best. So always fun stuff there. All right. With no further ado or delay or whatever, let us jump into this month's plugin roundup. The handout, let me just grab that one more time up above and paste it in the chat room so you guys have that in case anybody came in late. Grab that. That's what you're looking at on the screen now. And we're going to start with a plugin that we actually talked about roughly 2 years ago here on the plugin roundup, and that is fast user switching. It's been updated, and it does some really nice things. This is a great plugin. So let me activate fast user switching. Anybody using fast user switching now from when we did this a couple of years ago? Anybody starting to use this one? So Melanie likes it. And there is another plugin called user switching. This one is just fast user switching. So maybe it's faster. I don't know. All right. So let's activate fast user switching. And it does some nifty things. It is really helpful if you have some different role-based things going on your site, either customizations on the front end or maybe the back end, or it's a membership site and you want to be able to see what the site looks like as a member and so forth. This is going to let you swap between users really quickly, because otherwise you'd have to log out of your current user and log into the new user, or have a couple of different browsers open, or an incognito, or whatever you want. It gets complicated. What this is going to let us do is just right up here in the admin bar, we can switch users. So it's really nice right here because we have a search box for user IDs. So let me see if I've got a clever user ID on here. Nope, just a couple. But here's one called Test Edit. We're going to look for that one. So we're going to switch user, and I'm just going to type in test and hit search. And look, there it is right there. I can click that. And now, look, I have switched over to that user just that quickly. It is incredibly helpful. Now watch this. You can mouse over here and switch to own user. Boom. Now I'm back to me. Isn't that nice? Pretty nifty. Also, it remembers the recent users that you have switched to. So if I want to go back to that other user, I don't have to even search for it again. I can just click right there and let's see. Uh-oh. I had this happen on this site the other day, even with user switching, the other user switching plugin. I think it's something going on with this site. I need to wipe this. I will probably do that over the holidays. I'll wipe this site clean down and start over again with it. I'm not sure why that's not switching back, but it would let you just pick it from right here and you can switch over. Yeah, there we go. Must have been some caching. I don't know. Who knows? This site is so, it's just trashed with all the plugins we've installed and uninstalled. But isn't that nice? Switch back to your own user, own profile, and so forth. Pretty nifty. And there are some settings here to show the first and last name, what the role is. Do we show the username, the last switch date? And this is what's super nice. You can change what roles have access to the switching. So if you want to let your editor switch roles, you can do that. Look at that. So this will let your editors switch back and forth to other roles. Now, it's only going to let them switch to roles that are equal to or less than the one they have as they logged in. So if you're an editor, you can't switch to administrator, but you can switch to a subscriber, for example. So that's pretty helpful. My own worst enemy has a question. If you switch users, can you configure the admin columns and it will remain when the user logs in? Yes, absolutely. My own worst enemy. So if you, for example, let's just go back here and say this editor user right here is your client. Client name is the user, right? So we go there and it's doing this again where it's not remembering, or it's letting me, let's see. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I'm going to log out and log back in. So when I switch over to this editor user, it's still, I don't know what's going on here. It may be some Chrome caching, who knows? But yes, you are logged in as that user. And so if you move dashboard widgets around, if you change positions of other things that are user-based on the back end, those changes stick when that person comes back in. So yeah. Ben says, I've had user switching not show in the admin bar. Yeah, so if it's user switching plugin, that one does not have an admin bar item. But this is the one we're looking at now is fast user switching, and it does. So Rana's saying she's experienced that too. My guess is that it's some sort of a Chrome caching issue. Chrome, have anybody else noticed this? Chrome caching has gotten very aggressive lately. Very aggressive. Like even doing shift refresh, which used to kind of clear that first kind of layer of caching. I don't know. I'm having trouble. So yeah. Anyhow, but there you go. That's fast user switching. I kind of like this one. Carrie is asking, do I have a preference between this one and user switching? I've used user switching for so long. It's sort of like the go-to for me. But this one actually has more features to it. So, and especially if you need other roles to be if you want to allow editors to switch roles, then this is definitely helpful because you can give others than administrators the ability to switch roles. Okie dokie. Anybody else? Yeah, and on the Chrome subject, Firefox has really made some strides in their developer tools, so you might really want to look at that. I have to break the Chrome habit, so I still use Chrome just out of habit. Y'all know how that goes, right? It's just hard to move away. Okay, so that's it for fast user switching. Any other questions or comments about that one? All right, let's move on down the list to Neelio featured posts. Neelio featured posts. Now, this is a pretty cool plugin, particularly if you have posts on your website. That's it's hard to use without posts, but if you have a post heavy site and there are some that you want to feature, then this is pretty nifty. Let's just go right here under posts. We now have a menu item called Featured by Neelio, and we open that up, and look, we can just start either selecting posts from the list or type, and it's going to give you the plugin. Let's add that one to the first. Let's just grab a couple more, add that one to the last. Let's add this one to the first and see we can change that. And by the way, we can also drag and drop these. Anyway, however you want them to look, you just stick them right there. Do we want the featured image or not? Hit save. And now we can go right over here as a widget. And let's make this bigger so we get 2 columns. There's featured posts. And right there it is. We'll save it. And here on page 4, there they are. Isn't that nice? Just a really simple but helpful featured posts display. Now, you can go in and say, nah, let's don't do the featured image. And boom, just a list. So it's super easy to use. This is one of those things where if you need those featured posts over to the side and you want to be able to specify in particular, I want to be able to specify which posts I feature. Right there they are. And this is easy enough to work with that the client can even do this, right? Really, really nice. Now, one downside is it only supports posts. It does not support custom post types, I don't think. Actually, you know what? Let's test that because I don't think it supports custom post types. But if we activate pods, that's going to give us a stuff custom. Now, only posts. So it only supports posts, and it wouldn't be that hard for them to add the custom post type feature. But for now, only posts. So Carrie's saying featured posts should be dynamic. It could be, but it may be that you want to specify which posts you want to give attention to rather than it just being dynamic. So I see some use case for this. My own worst enemy. Does there happen to be a setting to limit the number my clients forget to unfeature them? Yeah. So now that's particularly the case. Like if you make a category called featured and your clients, just add it to the featured now but with this, they see which posts are there right there. And if they want to add more, they're going to see how long the list is. And then it's real easy just to go in and delete one and save it. So there's not a way to specify the number other than it's the ones that are right here. Yeah, Stacy's saying she has a client that wants to handpick which posts are featured. Yeah, I can see the real use for that. Yeah, Janice said maybe your posts include documentation and that sort of thing you want to feature. Absolutely. So anyway, that's Neelio featured post. Pretty straightforward plugin, but could be very, very useful if you have a need for this sort of functionality. Super easy to use. And again, the reason I like it is that the UI here is so straightforward that even the most basic client should not have a problem making this work. Okay, moving down the list. Let's see. Let me deactivate this one. And let's move on to WP Instant Feeds. How many of you do the Instagrams? Do you have the Instagrams for you or your client? And there's always a fun way to try to get those onto the WordPress site. Here is a really nice plugin to do that. I think we featured one of these last month too. It's straightforward. This is like no frills Instagram, but it totally works. Now, one of the biggest problems that people have had with Instagram is how they've dealt with their API. It's back and forth, lots of changes, changing up what they're going to allow access to, what they're not, and so forth. And like my own worst enemy saying, yeah, it's great when it works. And that's been some of the problem. So they've done a lot of changes to that API, but this plugin does not rely on the API at all. And that's why I like it a lot. So literally, let's just refresh our widgets page and grab the WP My Instagram widget. Look here. Right here in the widget, you just put in the username. So who has an Instagram username that you would like to feature? I'm going to put real quick for the first. My daughter's editing Instagram. She does a lot of video editing. And so simply by putting in that username, look at there. Isn't that something? It takes you right to the post. Super easy. All right, let's do Jesse. Bits and Bytes Farm. And there we go. Now you can also change this, how many photos you want. Let's see, photo size. Let's do 2 items per row, thumbnails with 12 images. There we go. Look at that. Click on it, takes you directly to the Instagram post. Doug is asking, can you have multiple feeds on the same page? Why, yes, you can, because it's just a widget, right? So let us just drop another one in. And who else did anybody else nobody else put an Instagram feed. That's okay. We'll put my daughter's back. So look at that. As many feeds as you want. Ben is asking, does it have a gallery slider? Nope, this is very, very basic. You can set how many pictures, what size they are, how many per row. Do we go to a new window or a self? And do we want a link at the bottom? You can change the title. That's about it. Now, by the way, you can also just search by a hashtag. Let's do hashtag WordPress and see what happens. Okay, I don't know what's up with that. But there you go. You can just have a hashtag if you want, which could be quite dangerous, actually. But there you go. And Jan, you're right. Having the ability to open in a new window is super helpful. Let's do hashtag Christmas. Probably a little safer. And there it goes. Ooh, that coffee looks good. It's probably an ad for the coffee pot. Okay, any other questions about WP Instant Feeds? Andrew, what a great idea. For a WordCamp site, it makes sense to use the hashtag. Unfortunately, though, WordCamp sites are hosted in a multi-site, and you don't have access. You cannot add plugins. So, yeah, it sucks. That's why you look at most WordCamp sites, and they're pretty basic because you cannot add WordPress plugins to them. It is hosted on WordPress.com, and you get very, very little tech on the WordCamp site. Barbara's saying you could actually have a lot of other, you could have other people's Instagrams show up. Yep. All you need is their username. You can put whatever you want on there. All right. Any other questions or comments on this one? That's WP Instant Feeds. Again, very basic, but super easy. And also, of course, if you're using a page builder and you're not really using widgets that much, of course, the average WordPress widget will appear in a page builder. And I believe this one also has a short code. So right there. All of the shortcode attributes are right here on the plugin page. So you can add it by widget or by shortcode, however you prefer. And Carrie's also mentioning a really good plugin that we have talked about here on the plugin roundup called Widget Shortcode. I love this one. This one has been in my plugin stack for a while, although since we're using more and more of the page builder, I don't use it nearly as much as I used to. But just for those of you who haven't seen Widget Shortcode, I'm just going to install and activate it. And what Widget Shortcode does is pretty nifty. You get a new widget area here, and if I drag this widget over, watch what happens. At the bottom, I get a shortcode for that widget. And this can be used anywhere you can use shortcodes. So you can drop the standard widget over here, and Widget Shortcode gives it a widget. So pretty nifty. All right, let's move on to this month's featured WooCommerce add-on number 1. And it is Quantity Increment Buttons for WooCommerce. Quantity Increment Buttons for WooCommerce. It's kind of a mouthful, but let me do this. Let's go over and activate WooCommerce. One moment. And we do have a couple WooCommerce products set up. So let me get one of those on the screen. And how many of you are frustrated by the little teeny tiny up and down buttons for quantity on the cart on the way WooCommerce comes out of the box? I hate those things. And, I'm just getting older, I guess, but those are teeny tiny and they're hard to hit, and I just don't like them. So that's why I like quantity increment buttons for WooCommerce, because all you have to do is activate this plugin and watch what happens. Look at that. I like that a lot. And somebody was mentioning mobile. It works a heck of a lot better on mobile. Isn't that great? So I like this a lot. And this should work on any theme, unless your theme is weird, which, there's plenty of weird themes out there. But just activate. That's literally all you have to do. So that is a very short plugin to explain quantity increment buttons for WooCommerce. I don't believe there are any settings. Actually, there are some settings. Wait, I didn't see this. Okay, let's see. Archives display. Oh, let's see what all this does. I missed this when I was reviewing. So before add to cart or after it, let's change that. Let's just look and see what that does. Interesting. These are the sort of things I usually look at before the roundup. Let's see. Button width. Let's make it really big. Look at that. You can make it big. That's cool. That is really cool. Oh, you can change the quantity field width. Let's make that 80 and the button's 40. Ooh, look at that. See, I like that a lot. Yeah, Barbara, I don't know what's going on with the after that. This may be a theme issue. But it also could be the archive page. So let's do this. Let's go to the category. See if that makes a difference. Yes, look at that. We can even put them on the archive pages. No, that's still not working. So Astra must not like this setting for whatever reason. So there you go. Button. Oh, look at this button style. Let's make them blue. I didn't see these settings at all. Yeah, kind of like the silver. Black. So likely this will be some CSS you can change yourself. Yeah, you can change. You should be able to deal with that with CSS to make it exactly themed to your current site, but silver should work with anything. And how cool is that? So anyway, that is quantity increment buttons for WooCommerce. You can even unmerge the buttons. Ha! Look at that. I kind of like them all together, though, but that's pretty nifty. Any other questions or comments on this one? All right. Don't you love these plugins that you just install them and you go, wow. Why didn't anybody do this before? Okay, moving down to this month's featured WooCommerce add-on number 2. Smart coupons for WooCommerce. Who has seen smart coupons before? I think we mentioned that on some webinar sometime at some point. But smart coupons is fantastic. Already has a vote from Heather. So actually, let me deactivate smart coupons just to remind our... Oh, I don't like this part. Just let me deactivate the plugin, please. Okay, so coupons. The couponing in WooCommerce is okay. It does pretty well. So you can do percentage, fixed cart, or fixed product discount. You can set an amount. Does it do free shipping, expiration date, how many uses, and different, can it be what products, yes products, no products, yes categories, no categories, only to certain emails, and so forth. So there's a lot you can do, how many times it can be used per user, per coupon. So you can do a lot out of the box with WooCommerce coupons. But let us do smart coupons and look at all of the many more things that it brings to the couponing feature in WooCommerce. So let's just do this. Let's see. Edit this existing one. All right. So many, many, many additional features right away that you can see. First of all, still have our same options here, but look, apply the coupon automatically if the specifications are met. So that will let the people save no matter what. So you can specify the coupon is for this particular purchase, or this particular item. And if that item is in the cart, it's going to automatically apply the coupon. So I like that a lot. Look at this feature. Show the coupon in user's My Account area. So if you have people that are using the My Account area, you can have the coupon show up there. And it should, let me just get the plugin screen here. You can change, by the way these look, but essentially they'll look like this in your My Coupons area. See, it creates My Coupons in My Account. And look at that. The ones that I've used, ones that are available, expires in 5 days. It's really cool. Usage restrictions. Look at all of the additional features that are here. Cannot be used in conjunction with any other coupons, excluding sale items. A little more granularity on the conditions. Minimum quantity of products. So you can only use this coupon if you buy 3 of these things. Or if you mix and match between these 3 products, I'm going to give you 30% off, that sort of thing. Yeah, for a free plugin, this is fabulous. Now, usage limits, nothing changes, but look, checkout options, only on certain shipping methods, only on certain payment methods, only for different roles on your website. So if you have a membership site, you can say, if you're this role, then you get this coupon. So, for example, you could have a coupon that applies to everything that's 25% off, and members get that automatically. It'll just automatically apply the coupon. Pretty nifty. Look at this, a giveaway product. So use this coupon code, and if you buy anything on, let's see, what do we call that? Product 1. So if you buy anything in the store, we're going to add on product 1 automatically to your order. Pretty cool. Anyway, lots of different options here within this plugin that is called Smart Coupons for WooCommerce. So if you are a WooCommerce type person, this is one you want in your tool belt. Now, there is a premium version of this, of course, as well, that offers many more additional features, even than these. And I forget how much it costs. That's what I'm looking up here. Yeah, it's a little pricey, but quite frankly, this with the amount of sales that should be made from this coupon, easily cover all of those things. So that's per year, and then 50% discount going forward. So, yep, Smart Coupons for WooCommerce. Any other questions or comments about this one? Okay, moving on down our list to Aurora Heat Map. How many of you have used heat maps in the past? Aurora Heat Map. Now, heat maps can be very helpful in determining how people interact with your website. And there's a bunch of different heat mapping options out there, like Crazy Egg and lots of other ones. Hotjar, yeah, my mind just blanked on Hotjar. And so this does very similar. Now, this is, again, a basic heat map. However, for what you need, this might be all you need. Just to get some basic data, let's look at what we get here. So right here, oops, let's see. Here's our heat. Well, there's really terrible data on this side. It has no use, but it's going to show you how many people scrolled or interacted in a certain area. This, apparently somebody clicked over here. This is a terrible example, but this is how it's going to look. So right from within WordPress, you're going to get this information. Let's see if we have anything that looks a little more helpful than that. Just really not a lot of interaction. If some of y'all want to go to wpnathan.com and click around, that maybe click around a lot on the homepage, that would be helpful. Maybe we can see some more stuff. But just from right within the WordPress admin area, you can see many things. Question is from my own worst enemy. How does it figure that out? Well, it's loading some JavaScript on the page that is tracking user mouse movements. Look here, at the 90 display position, 10% of users have left. So we get a little information. See if we have any more interactions recorded. Okay, so we got some more interactions recorded on the homepage. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. See, so you got, isn't that funny how people rest their mouse right there? And you can see on the lines positions where interaction has occurred. Some interactions on the menu item. Yeah. So it's pretty nifty. Oh, we got a lot more now. Thank you all for doing that. So this is interesting. This is how you interpret heat mapping data. If we look at where that landed, whoops. It's scrolling. That's like one mouse wheel scroll, and your mouse is usually in the middle of the screen, which is why your mouse kind of sits right there automatically. But a lot of you are clicking around here, and 26 of you rested right here. Isn't that funny? So again, this is really helpful if you want to see how pages are performing and where people's interactions are with a particular page. Then just install this plugin and activate it and let it go for a bit. You get live results. As you can see, our numbers are ticking right up as you folks are interacting with the site. Now, there's some settings you can deal with in here as well. There is a premium version, of course, but the free version should give you some basic data. It's a heck of a lot easier to set up than having to go to Hotjar and set up an account and install a script and all that stuff. Now, one thing, and this is true with any heat map, there might be some caching issues. So you want to kind of read up on that if your site is using a cache. Just kind of look at that. Oh, Dave said he's the one who clicked on that spot in the middle of the screen. So there you go. But you do see that, by the way, what I just explained about the mouse kind of being in the middle and scrolling down the page with one mouse wheel scroll. That position is oftentimes where a lot of heat occurs. All right. Anyway, any other comments about Aurora heat map? Pretty cool, I think. Moving on down to this month's simple but useful plugin number 1, and that is Current Year and Symbols Shortcode. Current Year and Symbols Shortcode. Now, this one is pretty nifty, and one of the things we'll go over in the Beaver Builder Dev course is my list of super secret snippets. We've done some stuff on that in the past, but I always create that in a custom functions plugin, and I've got a function that shows the year and all that stuff. But this is a nifty little plugin that does a lot of those things for you. So let me just, did I activate that? Yes, I did. Okay. So I'm actually going to open up the plugin page because all the documentation is here. But look what you can do. Let me get a page open. And what I'm going to do right here is I'm just going to put a shortcode for Y. And that shortcode Y outputs the current year. That's kind of nice, right? Look here, the C outputs the copyright symbol, which can be super helpful because finding that copyright symbol and making it appear can be a little complicated sometimes. So there's the copyright. We can also do T for the registered trademarks, or TM for the TM, or SM for the SM. So let's do T. TM, SM. And we get all those symbols really nicely outputted right here on our page content. So that can be really nice. Here, but this is the part that I really like down here. So CC says copyright. CC year equals shows first a symbol of the copyright, then the first year, and then the current year. So if you want to output something like this, you can do so with this shortcode. Whoop, we need our regular parenthesis, our quote marks first, not our squiggly quotes. Right there. And, so if this site was copyrighted from 2010 through 2019, boom, you got it. If you actually want it to say copyright, right here, CYYLS year equals then you get this output right here. Pretty nifty. So that can be super helpful, like down here in the footer, right? If you have some stuff you want to put in. It's just really nice. But even just to have the TM, that can be handy. So simple but useful. If you've got a site that requires these things, right there it is. If you just want to output the year, come to the Beaver Builder Dev course, and I'll give you the code to create your own, so you don't have to have a plugin for it. Carrie is asking, if the plugin is deactivated, does the shortcode still display? Yeah. So in your content is this. So if you deactivate the plugin, you're going to get the shortcode. Boom. Right? So you don't want to deactivate the plugin. If you're going to use it, commit to it. So again, that is Current Year and Symbols Shortcode by KGM. Any other questions or comments on this one? I kind of like this one. All right, this month's simple but useful plugin number 2 is Disable Big Image Threshold. Now, we mentioned this one in last month's plugin roundup. Now, this one is really helpful because how many of you knew that in WordPress 5.3, there was an image size limiter feature that was introduced into WordPress? So by default, the largest, so before 5.3, if you you have maybe a client that had, their own digital camera, or they're uploading an iPhone picture and it's 7,000 pixels wide, that's how big it's going to be going into WordPress. And there's normally no real reason why most sites would need a 7,000 pixel wide image. So a lot of us have gone to, image optimization plugins that limit that big image size. Well, WordPress rolled that into core in 5.3. So I think it's 2560 is the longest width or height, the longest dimension that an image can have, and it scales it to keep it in aspect based on the longest dimension of the image being 2560. And that's great. I think that's needful for virtually every website. However, what if you are uploading images for a full width background and you want it to be bigger than 2560? Or what if you have a photography website and you're a photographer and you want gigantic images on your site for people to download? Well, you have to do something because WordPress by default is now going to size everything down that hits the media library to 2560. So all you have to do literally is activate this plugin. And the function that is rolled into WordPress 5.3 that limits the image size is now disabled. That's it. Now, there are no other settings, so you can't say, I want it to instead to be 4,000 pixels or whatever. This plugin simply disables the built-in function that WordPress added in WordPress 5.3. That's kind of the joke that I've had for a long time, is that whenever core WordPress adds a function meant to improve people's lives, there's always going to be a plugin that comes along to undo that function because some people like it the old way. So Jonathan DeRosiers did that for this big image threshold. And again, I think it's helpful in certain cases. All right. Any other questions or comments on this one? Again, simple but useful, but just be aware that is out there. And if for some reason you're wondering why in the world your large images aren't large anymore, that's why. Okay, moving on down the list to My Customize Admin Front End. My WP Customize Admin Front End. So this is a neat plugin that I just ran across, and it does something that I'm always looking for a simple plugin to do, and that is, it's going to let us deal with meta boxes in the WordPress admin area. I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I've customized a site, there are a lot of meta boxes that end up in places that I don't want them, and I want to just sort of clean off the admin interface. And my WP Admin Customize lets us do that. So let's just look here in the admin area. Now, iTheme Sync does a lot of this as well. But this is particularly helpful if you need to hide some meta boxes. So just for example, here's our posts area. And let's just say that on this site, we're not using categories or tags, which on a lot of business sites, if it's just a basic, monthly news blog or something, I don't usually add categories and tags on, or I hide those because it's just confusing for the client. So I tend to hide everything the client isn't using because it can tend to be confusing. So what you can do right here is, let's see, refresh the meta boxes and category. Look here. I'm going to remove categories and I'm going to remove tags and save. So now when we go to add a new post, look here. No categories, no tags. We can take off excerpt, custom field, slug, and author as well. Going to hide that. Going to hide comments if we're not going to have comments on our site. Hide the slug, hide the author, hide post format. And it's all nice and clean now. Uh-oh. Better? Now you can see. For some reason, GoToWebinar paused my screen, and I don't know why. That was weird. But the broadcast kept going, right? Sorry about that. Well, on the recording, they'll see it happen. But basically what I did was I just went in and hid all these meta boxes on the post screen. And look at that. You can totally clean them up. Isn't that nice? So do we actually need to do this again? I mean, literally what I did was go in here to admin, edit post, add new, and change these. Now, there's a difference between hide and remove. So if I go up here, let's see. I thought you could uncheck them, but I guess not. They're gone. Yeah, they're hidden. So that's good. Pretty cool. Now, in the past, we've used Advanced Access Manager to do something similar to this, but Advanced Access Manager is a gigantic, huge, enormous plugin that we only use about 5% of it to do this function. But this is a plugin that does that. Now, what this doesn't do, that Advanced Access Manager does, at least in the free version, is you can't say, I want administrators to see everything. It doesn't have role-based hiding of the meta boxes in the free version. There is, however, a pro version that allows that customization by role. So you can play around with that and do what you want. But this is going to let you, iTheme Sync does this as well. You can play with the WordPress nav menus. You can do lots of things with this as well. But kind of nice for hiding things. So yeah, if you're wanting to do this role-based, you will have to, cough up a little money or continue to use Advanced Access Manager. But I like this. It does a lot of nifty things. You can change a lot of what's going on. Oh, so there are a couple other things this does that I really like that Advanced Access Manager doesn't do is you can rearrange the columns. You can also go here to the, let's see. Yeah, look here. Left toolbar, right toolbar. Any of this look familiar? There's howdy. Yo. Update. Save. Look at that. You can change the things. Very easily. Now, by the way, we're going to show you how to do this in code in the Beaver Builder Dev course. But one of the things that I really like is so all this stuff, how many of you ever use this? I mean, you can use that. What if you want to take stuff away from it? Well, you can do that right here. Here's the child menu. You can move stuff around in that. Like, let's put media at the top. Update, save. Now, media is at the top. Let's say we want to add something. Like, let's add our own custom link hang on a second here. We're going to make it a custom link, add item, and we're going to put it after security, and we're going to go Google it. We can give it an icon if we want to. Looking for a search. Am I just missing the search? Doesn't matter. Okay, update, save. Look at that. Boom. Straight to Google. So it makes it pretty easy to deal with this. This does a lot of nifty things. Like Carrie's saying, you could take it to a support portal. You can do a lot of stuff with this. And you can even create your own child menu, just like these other ones have. So maybe you have your company's own little drop-down menu of things. Pay your bill, get support, whatever. Leave us a review. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so that is my WP custom add this one right here by this really long, weird, randomly generated, it looks like, developer name. I don't know. All right, moving on down to bulk edit posts and products in spreadsheet. I bet you can't guess what this one does. This is the on-the-nose plugin name winner. This lets you bulk edit posts and products in a spreadsheet, believe it or not. Let me deactivate a couple of things. Oh, actually, I want to leave WooCommerce. I will just leave it alone. I want to leave WooCommerce on for this. So bulk edit. Where are you? WP Sheet Editor. There we go. WP Sheet Editor. Okay, so this is kind of nice. It gives you a little setup wizard, and some of the things are premium, but we're just going to do this right here. Post pages and products. There are some free extensions, like you can do coupons, categories, tags, and there's some pro extensions that you can also do users. But we're just going to do probably posts and products to let you see what this does. So I think you're going to like this a lot. So let's go to, let's see, enable, continue basic. All right, let's just look at posts. So how many of you like spreadsheets? And how would you like to be able to see everything about your post in one spot? Look at this. Now this, my WordPress install has had 8,000,005 different plugins installed and uninstalled. And so there's a crap ton of post meta, like all this stuff that's been added. So it picks up all of that. So it's really stupid long. But just look at the beginning things here. Let's say, for example, I want to change the type. I want to put exclamation points beside every post title that I've got. And I can do that all right here. And all at once, save it. That is pretty nifty, right? Let me show you something else that's cool. Let's say we want to change. Let's unlock our modified date. Let's see if I can do it with this one. Enable. Okay. So let's say we want to change the modified date and time, but we want to do it on all the posts. Just like a spreadsheet, look at this. I can click and drag and everything changes to that one. How about that? You like that? Pretty nifty, right? And so, but the nice thing is you can make all the changes here. It's not live yet until you hit save. Then everything gets committed, right? We could change the authors. We can change the excerpt. Just like that. Pretty nice, right? You can change the post status, the featured image, everything. Look at that. You can mouse over and see what it is. You can change it from right here. Look at that. From right here, you can change the categories. and then not commit everything until you save it. Of course, you can change the slug and all of that. So pretty cool, right? Now, how do I get out of here? I want to get out of here. Exit. Okay. I'm lost. Get me out of here. Okay. All right. Look at products. This is really cool. You ever had to go in and update all your products at once with a price increase or decrease? How about doing it in a spreadsheet right here and hitting the button once and it's saved? That's helpful, right? All of the WooCommerce things are right here. Now, a lot of these things are in the Pro version. They do want you to spend a little money if you're going to use this, but this could save a ton of time. A ton of time. Now, there's also, there is, for example, let's see. Well, let me just open the plugin page. There's one for Yoast SEO fields as well. Let's see. WooCommerce products. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. It has, yes, there's a math formula option in the premium version where you can say decrease product prices by 10%. Boom. Save it, done. Lots of things. Anyway, so I think you can maybe see the potential in this. The premium version is, it costs a little bit, but again, I think that you could save a ton of time with this. Yeah, they're running a Black Friday promo. It's very expensive, but yeah, it's a little pricey. Look at all these add-ons. Give WP, taxonomy terms, media library. Yeah, it's a great, that's a lifetime also, by the way. Lifetime deal. So that saves you a couple hours, 3 or 4 hours. Probably pays for itself. Pretty cool. Okay, so that is bulk edit posts and products in a spreadsheet. One of the more unique plugins that we've seen here on the plugin roundups. I kind of like that one. All right, so before we get into the holiday plugins, let's go ahead and close off this portion let's have your vote for the best plugin of the month. One vote only, please. What was your favorite plugin of the month before we have some fun with holiday plugins? Bulk edit posts, MyWP. Let's hear it from you there in the chat room. Heat map, featured posts, MyWP, the year short code, spreadsheets, smart coupons, MyWP, featured posts, increments button. Looks like MyWP is the clear winner with several, another vote for spreadsheets. Yeah, so spreadsheets and MyWP were the best of the roundup this time. All right, so let's finish up with how we always wrap up these December plugin roundups. Always a lot of fun with some holiday plugins. I'm just going to highlight a couple. I do want to point out that I've given you the classic iThemes training plugin roundup, Christmas plugin power pack with all of the different ones we've featured over the years with their various Griswold level, if you're familiar with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and Carl here plugging in the lights. This will let you know just how Griswold this plugin is, but there's a few that I've added here that aren't on that list. So these are new ones that we haven't featured before. I want to start out with this one, Hello Christmas. because it's just a simple plugin. It's a Hello Dolly plugin. It's a Christmas plugin. It is all wrapped into one, and we will activate Hello Christmas, and it just gives us a nice, fun little Christmas lyric here at the top of the screen. And it's in red and green. Isn't that nice? Just like a Hello Dolly, but with some Christmas music up there. All right, let's do a couple of snow plugins. These are a couple that I don't think we've featured in the past. I'm going to start off with Snowstorm from Turbulent Software. This one's pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see on this site because it's mostly gray and white, but you can get a little bit of the snow right there. See if I can get to the settings of this plugin. I thought there were settings, but maybe they're not on that plugin. It's the other one here, the WFS Let It Snow. Let's activate that one. Deactivate several of these things. All right, WFS Let It Snow. Jan wants bigger flakes. Let it snow. All right, so here's where you can set your stuff. Do you want to let it snow? Yes, please. Where should it? Homepage of the entire site. Do we want light, medium, heavy, or a whiteout? Let's go heavy at first. We can change the speed and all of those things. Save the changes, and boom. I like that. This is my favorite snow plugin because it lets you vary the size of the snowflakes. Isn't that nice? I like that a lot. It's more better. It's pretty snow. You can turn on the shadows. I don't like this very much. Kind of bugs me. But you can shadowize it if you would like. Ben is asking, does it collect at the bottom of the screen? No. There are plugins. I did see a plugin that does that, and I can't remember which one it was. But it does actually collect, not like clumps of snow, but like one line of snowballs at the bottom of the screen. And it actually, you can turn it on to melt. So they'll disappear after a little while. But I cannot remember which snow plugin that was. I looked at several of these yesterday. All right, so let's move on to a little more fun. And this is my favorite. It's just ugly and just gaudy, and I love it. This is, let me deactivate a couple of these. These plugins are probably not the best coded plugins in the world. So I don't want to blow anything up. But let's go down to Xmas Lights here. And I think I'm going to have some positioning problems with this. Yeah. But I love this. I love this plugin. We have some positioning issues, so let's fix that. There we go. So hanging off our screen is our lovely old school 1950s Christmas bulbs. Yeah. And just hanging there. It does not like this top menu line in Astra for some reason. I think it's probably it's just a positioning issue. So that's a lot of fun. Here's one right here. You know what? This may be it. The MMX may be the snow I was thinking about. MMX Make Me Christmas. Let us look at that one. All right, MMX settings. Oh, no, this one's just ugly. Okay, so enable the header. Yes. Do we want a Christmas bunting and hanging? Yes. We're going to put snowflakes across the top. A lot of these other ones are available only in the premium edition. We're going to enable. Yes, we want snow. What kind of snow do we want? We've only got that one. There's lots of different flake options, but we'll just take this one that's free. Do we want a footer? Yes, of course we do. Do we want the snowman? Yeah, of course we want a snowman. Do we want the Christmas tree? Of course we want a Christmas tree. Santa Claus? Absolutely. And save. Look at that. So we've got Santa happening down there at the bottom of our screen. Oh, he's going behind the content. Oh, we need to fix that. Can't have Santa going behind the content. I think we have to click this for all of the things. There we go. Wow, we've got a whole line of snowmen and Christmas trees. Lots of snow happening, and of course Santa sliding across. Yeah, Paul, how can you? You got to have a premium version, right? Got to sell something here. So that's kind of cool. So let's go to the full Griswold, which is Christmasify. So we're just going to go all the way here. We got to wrap it up because we're after it already. But let me activate Christmasify, which is by far the... Well, you know what? No, we're going to have to do several of these. We're going to do Christmas Panda and Christmas Music and Christmasify, which I don't see here. Well, I got to do Happy Snowman too. These are all great. There it is, Christmasify. All right, we're going to activate all these. Okay. Christmasify. I want snowflakes. I want to hear songs. Flying Santa, yes, would be awesome. Yes. Christmas decorations for images, yes. Christmassy headings, yes. Let's Christmasify. Look at that. Oh, we got everything happening here. We got Happy Snowman. Can you guys hear the song, the music going on, or is it only in my headphones? We've got Major Snow. Look at that. It even puts a little Christmas overlay on your images for you. Oh, it's only in my headphones? Okay, we got to fix that. Let's get some, hang on a second. Let's get it in the house mic here. There we go. So we are really happy with all of this stuff. Now, of course, we can change the music. Let's give it Jingle Bells. Hey, there's a flying Santa. There you go. Stacy saying, install this and do a speed test. Yeah, that would be great. You gotta love it. For some reason, this is considered a Christmassy headline style. I don't know why, but there it is. Dancing Snowman. Okay, so let's get rid of Christmasify and let you see some of the options on the other ones, because clearly I know that all of you are going to... Oh my gosh, this is getting annoying. Goodness. All right, I know you're all going to install this on all of your websites directly after this is finished, but let's add our Christmas Panda. So there's our decorations. That's what's decoring the top of our site here. You can change those to various things. Some of them are actually not too bad. Look at that. I kind of like that one. Let's make it sticky. Ooh, that's like Major Pine. There we go. And it takes up all your screen. It's wonderful. Yep, that's Christmas Panda. Of course, it has snowfall as well. Yes, we want snowfall. Of course we want snowfall. Wow, look at those flakes. Jan wanted big flakes. You got them. There they go. Great big flakes. Hey, we can have pop-ups. Who doesn't need a pop-up? Let's do poinsettia. Bottom right corner. Oh, it doesn't like something. Oh, wait, yes. Helps when you say yes. Good grief, that's a big pop up. And the X is candy canes. Oh, you gotta love it. Hey, I think if we keep going here, we could fill the whole screen up with stuff so you can't see the content at all. Wouldn't that be great? Good grief, look at this. Oh my. Well, anyway, let's get some Christmas music going on. Play it on all the pages. Oh my. There we go. It's auto playing. Dancing Snowman. All right. I can't take it anymore. That's it. That's all the Christmas plugins I can stand. So hopefully, I want you all to install one of these and tweet me the link at Nathan Ingram because I want to have a laugh later today. Anybody that does that, I will totally retweet it and ask others to do the same. So, my own worst enemy says, okay, that takes care of the rest of the day. There you go. Okay, so Jan is going to take me up on it. Do it, Jan. Do it. So thus ends the December 2019 episode of the Plugin Roundup. Our winners were clear. We had the spreadsheet, the WFS spreadsheet plugin, and the other one. What was it? The admin area, WP Customize Admin. Those were the clear winners for today. Make sure you download the full Griswold with our power pack of holiday plugins. And one last note, don't forget, December the 10th, that is next Tuesday, 1 o'clock Central, is the best of July through December 2019 Plugin Roundup, where we get the best of the best, where your votes go in to calculate the ones that are listed. And there's always some really fun stuff and some that you may have seen and forgotten about, and it's a great way to remind yourself. All right. Thanks again for hanging out with me for the last hour or so. Hopefully you had some fun and you learned some things. We'll see you next time here on iThemes Training, where we go further together.